beat whatever is normal in your life, help you advance, reach higher levels of performance, and answer questions of anything that you're struggling with. Sometimes, like talking in the morning. So, it's a live show, folks. So, if you have any questions, please post them below this video, wherever you're watching this, and I'll try to get to them. If not today, sometime for next week's show. Anyways, okay. Today's question that I got from you guys, submitted from the community here, is, my current job is driving me nuts and I want to do something else. I'm not sure I'll be able to find another job, though. So what advice can you give me? So first off, I want to say kudos to you for making the decision that you needed to change. So many people are miserable and they don't want to do anything about it. And so that first part of the high performance journey is making the decision to change. And so I think that's worth the celebration, and I cheer you on, because that's awesome. Okay, so you made the decision and you're not sure anyone else will hire you. So this, I think, in the big bucket of things that I talk about in my coaching practice, falls into limiting beliefs, right? So if we're always afraid of everything that we don't know, we don't take any action. So whether it's, maybe, so that you're miserable at this job, you're not sure you're going to be miserable or not at the next gig. Really, I think for me in my career, the question I would always ask when I wasn't happy with my job is, am I running towards something positive or away from something negative? And I think that's a really great question to ask yourself when you're considering a huge life change or huge career change. Because, if you have an idea of, I want to work at a place that is this, and this, and not this, and this, and this is my contribution and it aligns with my purpose, I'm running towards something that I think is going to be greater, it's going to be much easier to make that transition and be motivated and know what to look for, know what to say yes to, than if you're like, I just don't like my boss, or I don't like this work and I don't have any idea of what would be better, but I know it's not this. And that's important information, so it's not to be dismissed, but you want to make sure that you're running towards something positive. So that's kind of the first thought. So, because if you have that context, right, if you're running towards something that's more authentic to you, that's more aligned with your values, that's more aligned with your purpose, then it's a lot easier to make the jump, right? And so really figuring out what that is the first step. So getting clarity on where you would want to go. And clarity is, again, as much, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'd want to do, and not this. So all the negatives. So you kind of need both of them married together. On top of that, it's mindsets that I've come up, with clients and potential clients of I'm too old, I don't have enough experience, I'm overqualified, I, live too far away, I live too close, all of these excuses that, and I call them excuses with a smile on my face, because, as human beings, we always do these types of things. But at the end of the day, it's an excuse to not take action, to not actually figure out, right? So we need to get from this mindset of deficiency, of I'm not good enough, I don't have X, things that will hold me back, versus a growth mindset of what can I learn here? So what can I learn about if people would hire me or not? You got to talk to people, you have to submit resumes, you have to get in the game, start building your network, all that kind of stuff. And it sounds really simple, and one of my mentors is often saying that common sense isn't always a common practice. And we get so caught up in our stuff, and that's okay, right? I'm not here to say that that's bad or anything, right? It's human, and as a human being, we all go through this. But at the end of the day, we need to get into that learning, how do I know this is true? How can I test this? And if I test it, how many times do I have to test it before I'm like, okay, like NASA will not hire me as an astronaut. I do not have the skills or the height or the training, all that stuff. Okay, like I've applied 100 times. They said no. I'm not going to be an astronaut. Okay, that really weird example, but getting out there and like something like the job hunt. I also, as a side note, it's more of a game of resilience, and what I mean by that is, it's a lot of rejection. It's a numbers game, right? You have to apply to a bunch of places if you're going to find the perfect thing, unless you're extremely lucky and you hit the jackpot right off the bat. There is a little bit of luck involved, and so getting down on yourself for not having progress in it or for not getting hired doesn't serve you unless it's fueling you to keep going, right? And I think that's a really key distinction where we could be like, oh, I applied to 10 jobs, 10 people said no, I'm a bad person, I'm just going to give up, right? That's not going to help you feeling sorry for yourself that way. If you're like, 10 people rejected me, they don't know how awesome I am, I'm going to apply to 100 more until something pops. There's a whole different approach and mindset behind it. And trusting in yourself, trusting in, if you've been in an industry for a while, you have experience and skills that are useful. Or you're just starting your career, you're fresh out of high school or college, you have a different cultural experience and perspective to give, and you might have some newer skills to contribute to the organization. So there's a bajillion different ways to look at this, but if I had to sum it up into one concrete point, it's you want a mindset of learning, of curiosity, of figuring it out by doing, right? Because that's when you get the real feedback, and you'll build skill, you'll build a better idea of what people are looking for and all that kind of stuff. So just allow yourself, if you're feeling frustrated, to feel frustrated, but to not get stuck there, right? You want to be in action. You want to be getting that data. You want to be learning, okay? So that's the show for today. If you have any questions, you can always direct message or comment below this video with your questions. I'll answer them next Friday. Ask Your Coach a Question. I love doing these guys. And, if you're starting, if you've been doing the work, if you hit challenges, or you've had successes, let us know. And I want to cheer you guys on, because, it's these little things over time that lead to a great life. And that's what my hope is for each and every one of you. So that's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys next week. And have a good weekend.